All right, what's going on? Let's get started here. I am sorry I'm a little bit late, but I'm going to go over something first just because it needs to be talked about. If you're catching up late on this, like if you're watching this after I'm done being live, skip ahead maybe 5 minutes. All right, so I am live. All right, cool. Anywho, I just want to quickly go over what just happened. It's the reason why I'm late. And then we'll talk about the games. But anyway, let me do a quick screen share because you know what? I might actually include this in the strongly worded letter that I write to that MSG Networks. Oh, just got the email, so I am live. There we go. Cool. Anyway, this Alex Monaco, I just have another quick question. So I needed to go outside and like just calm down because what happened today is the entire problem with this fucking industry. I just gotta know. I just gotta know. 10:02. He's working the Devils game, right? At the same fucking time. Celtics game started at 7:30. Devils game started at 7. Devils game basically just ended, or he's supposed to be doing post game. Either way, he couldn't have watched more than 5-10 minutes of this fucking game. Anyway, how could you watch Jaylen Brown? So he's claiming he watched the Celtics Knicks game tonight. He's claiming he watched the Celtics Knicks game tonight. But I'm watching the Devils. I'm watching the Devils, and I'm sitting there saying, wait a minute, this is the fucking asshole I just saw on TV. I just gotta know. I just gotta know how this fucking guy watched this game, claimed to have watched this game when I saw him working the fucking game for the Devils. So this motherfucker has been caught red-handed. So I made a video. I will be writing the strongly worded letter to MSG Networks. I just want to know. So I just thought about this, right? As I was going out for a walk. I'm sorry I'm late, but anyway. So again, if you're watching this after I'm live, just skip ahead 5 minutes. I just got to know how this Rachel DeMitta got fired from the Big Three for one tweet about Caitlin Clark. One tweet about Caitlin Clark. But this fucking guy claimed he watched the Celtics and Knicks game at the same time he was working for the Devils. And that's not fireable? Okay. At least she's a looker. What the like this guy ain't a looker. This guy ain't look like Rachel DeMitta. So like I don't know, man. Anyway, we're going to talk about the games. It's not a big slate this week, kind of a small slate. The stock notes from this past week are probably the shortest length ones I've written all year, and they still came out to like a 38-minute read. So let's talk about last week's games. I did have another rant that I wanted to go over, but it'll come to me. Anyway, Louisville, Miami. I'm not going to say I predicted that Miami would lose a game, but like it's just really hard to go undefeated now. So I'm not going to act like it's the end of the world. And hey, Notre Dame's lost to Louisville on I don't know if that was a Friday night game, but that Friday night atmosphere was something. So, well, I mean, Miami wasn't home, but there was like we can't deny this part of it. Like sometimes just weird shit happens, and Isaac Brown is Louisville's best player, and guess what? He's from fucking Miami. You don't think he played a little 10% more pissed off? Like, just, things are going to happen. Just saying. So, a 3-point win. Now, I actually thought like 3 of the picks weren't really that terrible. I'm not saying Beck played well, but like at least 2 of them were fucking punts. One of them came on a 4th down where like he just totally fucking it was a hope and prayer ball. Another one was like, I don't know, 40, 50 yard deep shot down the field to Malachi Tony, where Malachi Tony's going nuts the whole game. Like, if he wants to give him a shot, I don't know. So I'm not gonna hold that game. And Ruben Bain, like, it was maybe the first game where he like didn't go fucking banana land insane mode. So I don't know. I'm not panicking. I still think Miami's a good team. He gets one stinker, right? If we see 2 or 3 stinkers, then maybe we adjust. But I would say at this point, like Beck, I don't want to call him Brock Osweiler because I think he's a lot better than that. But like, he's kind of in that he's tall. He definitely moves better than Osweiler. but he's got a nice arm. He can complete balls. Is he like one of these aliens? Like, do you think he can actually run over people like Josh Allen? Because that's not going to happen. Again, I've brought this up many times. I think the only real difference is Georgia led the league in drops last year, or country, not the NFL. Georgia led the country in drops last year. So the fact that his guys are actually catching the ball this year, it's a big reason why he looks better. And Miami's tackles are gross. So let's not freak out. And Louisville's running back is way better than Miami's running back. And that Chris Bell might be, I do like this Malachi Tony a lot. I'll tell you that freshman Malachi Tony, he's gonna be something. You can just tell he's not big. So he was actually like I guess he's like a converted quarterback. He was, because Cam Akers was a wildcat quarterback in high school. That's kind of like what he was, except this Tony, like, he looks like a real receiver, and Cam Akers like never turned into a real running back, which I thought he would, but this Malachi Tony, he's going to be something. LSU Vandy. I don't want to repeat myself on what I said about Harold Perkins. I think I've said plenty on that. I just want I wrote the post on it, so if you want to go read it on the site, you can do so. It's in the college football section. I got to know what this plan is for Harold Perkins. I showed you this last week. So where Mel Kiper, he put out the draft rankings, the position rankings, right? And he has Harold Perkins as the 9th best linebacker. First of all, he's not even really playing linebacker. He's out there in the fucking star. He's out there nickel corner. He's out there covering people. So I don't even know if he's a linebacker. Well, I know for a fact he's a fucking pass rusher. And 95% of the time, unless you want to throw in like a weird wrinkle, he should be rushing the fucking passer, and somebody should just get him in the weight room to where he gets up to 260 and can just do it all the time, because that's his path. And the fact that they haven't figured that out, I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. The good news is, so I haven't like put this guy on my list per se, just because like I did mention him in the stock notes last year, but I didn't put him on my tight end list because he can't declare, obviously. But this Trey'Dez Green, you can see it. It's coming. It's this Trey'Dez Green, the tight end. It's come. I don't know if there's a better tight end than that guy, or at least I'll say this. Kenyon Sadiq has been my number one tight end. First there by a mile. Go on the site. Find somebody who ranked Sadiq tight end 1 before I did. Dare you. Anyway, so he's not like, he hasn't hit the ceiling yet. But his tools, he's like 6'7". He runs like he's running away from dudes. Like, I don't know, man. He's scary. So if you're in like one of these weird ass leagues where, because some of these fantasy leagues, they're actually starting to be like smarter about it, where you can take a college guy and you get to stash him, or maybe you play college fantasy, and then you get his rights for when he comes into the league, sort of thing. I don't know how many people play these weird fantasy leagues, but mark him down. Mark Trey'Dez Green down. So he was, again, I think a lot of people know this already, but he was on LSU's basketball team. He's not playing basketball anymore, but like, he wasn't like a nobody in basketball either. Like, he was legitimately on LSU's basketball team. Now, I asked Carl like if he was any good. He didn't really see the floor much, but like recruiting, if you like dig into his recruiting stuff, he was like a real basketball player. So I don't know. He's starting to really emerge. The other receivers, like, I don't know how much I can really hold it against him, because Trey'Dez Green is a freak and he's actually tilting the field. These other receivers, I like Barrion Brown, but like, he's not a 6'7" motherfucking freak. So I just don't know how much you're going to see with the way Nussmeier's playing, because Nussmeier's playing like shit. Let's just call it how it is. Pavia should not be outplaying him. Like, what would happen if they switched teams? Why don't we play this exercise more? What if Pavia played for LSU? Because look, Vandy can block. I've been mentioning this for weeks. Vandy's offensive line, they're good. This Cedric Alexander, nice back. This Kyle Stowers, I'm not sure how good he is. He was also a transfer too. Like he wasn't some big time recruit. He's like a converted wide receiver too. And the Cole Spence guys actually might be outplaying him. But I'm just saying, let's say Nussmeier and Pavia switch teams. You don't think LSU's kicking the shit out of them? Because Nussmeier's playing like shit. So I'm about all good on this Nussmeier thing. And here's the worst part. Remember when we tracked CJ Stroud and I wrote during his freshman year, like, man, this is ugly. But like he just kept getting better and he just kept getting better. And then by the time he played Georgia in the bowl game, you're like, he's a franchise quarterback. Now he's not like Josh Allen, but he's a franchise quarterback, CJ Stroud. And yes, he's a first round pick. This Nussmeier, he just keeps getting worse. His freshman year, wow, is this the next Brett Favre? He's making these fucking big bombs down the field, and now he's training wheels. So he's permanently training wheels. So if you hear me say training wheels, that's Nussmeier. Let's keep it going. Oklahoma, South Carolina. I'm going to write this post too. I would just love to see, maybe some people disagree with me on this. Feel free to comment. I'd like to see what Lenore Sellers looks like at Alabama or somewhere else, because anybody that watched that game, I'm going to say the same thing that I said in the stock notes. Again, I should mention that I got last week's notes in the description. It's like playing the video game on Heisman when you got nothing around you. Dylan Stewart got hurt. Didn't really play in the game. So he's like the only fucking guy they have on their whole team. This Blaylock hasn't done shit all year. He comes into the game, he's averaging like 3 yards a carry. I mean, he's ripping off 100 yards, no problem. And the same thing, by the way, the same thing happened with the Missouri running back. The Missouri running back, Hardy, ran all over South Carolina. Against Alabama, I mean, he was all right, but he didn't have a big game against Alabama. And this ties into Alabama, kind of. So everybody wants to blow Ty Simpson now, right? Ty Simpson, let's take him first pick in the draft. Meanwhile, he couldn't beat out fucking Milroe. But now he's the first pick in the draft because he played okay against the Georgia defense that's not typical Georgia defense. Like, I don't really... He throws the ball in the middle of the field better than Milroe. Yes. No question. But if he was really a motherfucking dude, Milroe's not starting the way Milroe was playing last year. And, dude, have you seen these Bama receivers? Have you seen them? Have you seen them? Have you seen their left tackle, Proctor? Have you seen the guy? They're not running the ball great, but have you seen these fucking receivers? This Bernard, he's been there now forever. He was literally a Michigan State recruit, transfers to Washington. He played for the DeBoer Washington team. He's still at Alabama, still playing. He's an NFL player. Ryan Williams, outside of the fact that he paints his fingernails, he's really fucking good. This Latavius Brooks is a motherfucker. Isaiah Horton was putting up big numbers for Miami last year. I'd like to see Sellers have that kind of support. I'd love to see Sellers have that kind of support. Because that team's a fucking mess. Have you watched South Carolina's offensive line? Have you watched their fucking centers? Have you watched them try to run the ball? Sellers' brother led them in receiving yards this past week, and he didn't even play the whole fucking game. He got hurt, and he's not like known as a big time recruit of anything. So, again, maybe some people disagree with me on this. They'll say, stay at South Carolina. All I'm saying is, the problem with the people is they're not going to do the right thing because they don't know how to process what they're seeing. Why did Mac Jones go so high? Did you see what he had to work with? Are you ever going to fucking learn? Why wasn't Josh Allen the number one pick in the draft? Well, because Wyoming lost 28-3 to Iowa, and nobody wanted to give the guy any fucking credit. Like, you guys are not observing. You're never observing. That's the biggest problem I have with you fucking idiots. So, Sellers is the best quarterback in the country, and if he's not, the only guy that might be better than him is the guy that Oregon has. Anyway, Ole Miss, Georgia. I just want to know when the SEC became a more talented player version of the Big 12, because nobody wants to play defense. Nobody wants to play defense. This Kirby Smart, I mean, actually, I don't even want to bash Kirby Smart because I like Kirby Smart. That team cannot get off the field on third down to save their life. It's unbelievable. I can't even fathom that I'm watching Georgia with the way their inability to get off the field on third down. It's unbelievable. Actually, you know what? I didn't have that stat pulled up, but I think I could find it, right? What was Ole Miss on third down? 5-9 on third down. That's incredible. Against Georgia. What were they last week? I want to pull that up. Can we find that? Last week against Auburn. What were they on third down against Auburn? Auburn was 8 of 17 on third down, and they scored 10 points. Holy shit. Dude, what is going on? Here's the problem. I keep seeing these mock drafts. Oh, Christian Miller's going top 10. Christian Miller's he's a first round pick. Based on what? Based on what? Because this defense isn't any good. Anyway, and the only time they did get a fucking stop, because the first half they were getting murdered, was when Chambliss ran out of momentum. When Chambliss ran out of juice, like, hey, they ran out of plays for him. They made him put up 35 fucking points. They didn't score in the fourth quarter. That's Kirby Smart. That's not this defense being talented. So I've said it 800 times now. I can't imagine that I'm going to rank these Georgia guys on defense the same this year, other than CJ Allen and Raylan Wilson. And you know what? And I love CJ Allen, by the way. Zachariah Branch should also be thrown into that category because he's gross. And the more they get the ball in his hands, the better shit happens. I did watch that ass kicking of Oregon Rutgers. No idea why they're in the same conference. Absolutely insane that's the case. But that was a pummeling, man. That was a fucking pummeling. So 56-10. 56-10. And they could have put up 100. If Oregon wanted to put up 100, they could have. This Dante Moore is unbelievable. And can we please? And maybe this isn't a conversation happening right now, but I've tried to look into it, and it seems like people are taking this seriously. Let's shut the fuck up about this Cal McManus, please, because there's just no way. There's no way anybody thinks that guy should go higher than the 7th round. Tennessee, Alabama, USC, Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's good, by the way. But let's just be quick with these. That pick 6 by Xavier Brown, game was over. The game was over right there. That pick 6 by Xavier Brown, end of the game. End of the game. And I'll say this too. This Hill, the running back from Bama, I wonder if he starts picking up momentum. By the way, how about this one? Jeremy Bernard Jeremy Bernard, 4 carries, 49 yards. Daniel Hill is the one. I'm curious if he gets going because he's a big dude, 245. I would love to know if he's going to get worked in there more because I don't think Jam Miller is that good. And this Kevin Riley couldn't get anything going last week either. So it would be nice. And if this Bama team can run the ball, they can win it. It would be nice if for one fucking weekend they could have any semblance of what the prime Nick Saban running attacks look like. If just one week, I'm just asking one fucking week, could the run game look any semblance of what Saban used to have? Because if that happens, they can win it. And I do love the Tennessee running back and the wide receivers. All right, let's get to this week's games. Don't think we need to go forever here this week. I do want to say this though. Well, I remember the rant that I wanted to do, and then we'll talk about this week's games. If you're, let's say, the quarterbacks that might come out, Sellers, Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, I guess you're throwing Simpson into that category. Anybody else? I don't know. Am I missing somebody? If the Jets, and we're a long ways away from this, if the Jets or somebody like that, I don't know who's, it's probably going to be the Jets. I can't see how they're going to win a game. That's the worst coach team in the fucking league. If the Jets get the first pick, there's no way. There's no, unless you get some kind of insurance that, hey, like, they're definitely not taking you. Like, hey, you're not getting picked in the top 10. You're all right. There's no way I'd declare. I mean, you're out of your fucking mind. And I'll say this: Sellers, redshirt sophomore. Why come out? Well, especially if the Jets have that pick. Why would you come out? He could stay in school for another 2 years if he wants to, or I mean, technically 3 years if he pulls another cheese. But like Sellers and Dante Moore, like, are we positive they're going to come out? Are we positive? I'll say the same thing about Mendoza. Mendoza, it probably makes more sense for him to come out. But what I'm saying is, I think the only person that should say yes to the fucking Jets, because those other guys, I need assurances because I'm not going to fucking play for Aaron Glenn. There's no way I'm going to play for Aaron Glenn. That is career suicide, especially with that owner, Aaron Glenn. The field conditions. I mean, Rodgers went there, immediately tore his Achilles. With the 800 different head, because he's getting fired. There's no way he's surviving this. How could you possibly declare? How could you possibly declare? So I think the only guy that should say yes to the Jets, if Ty Simpson goes first overall, that's a win, dude. Couldn't beat out Milroe. He's a senior. It's his first year as a starter. Gets his ass whooped by Florida State. Hey, if he goes first overall, that's a win, man. But other than that, I ain't saying yes to Aaron Glenn. No chance. You ever see his fucking you go watch one of his press conferences and tell me you're willing to bet your career on that fucking asshole. No chance. Anyway, I love too, by the way, that I want to talk about the games this week now. That Cignetti went to the podium and said, we're playing a 3-0 team. Neuheisel, 3-0. How about that? So, yes, I will be watching UCLA, Indiana. I am curious to see what this – look, I got no faith. Nico Iambiava has failed the one most important test of life, and that is he lacks self-awareness. Because anyone with a brain doesn't leave Heupel. Because Aguilar is outplaying him, and Aguilar sucks. And Nico has way more fucking talent than Aguilar. So you figure out what's going on. Except Neuheisel, he's got him playing. And guess what? Indiana is a real fucking team who beat Oregon. You want to put yourself back on the map? Let's see what you got. I mean, this is put up or shut up time. So here we go. UCLA isn't very good, by the way. And Indiana's a 26.5 point favorite for a reason. But would be nice because I haven't seen, like, Indiana's schedule isn't really that big of a deal. I would love for Mendoza to blow me away. I would love to see that. I'm not convinced it'll happen, but I would love if he actually did. I'm rooting for him because I did like him at Cal, but I just think he's Goff. Best case, worst case. We'll see. Maybe Chinese farmer. Anyway, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. We'll be watching that game as well. Looks like they're sticking with Chambliss. Mateer didn't have to do shit and still won that fucking game by a mile. We'll see if Oklahoma can actually still run the ball, which they did against South Carolina, and Ole Miss gave up a fuck ton of points against Georgia. So we're going to find out. It's kind of almost, it might be, I don't know if it will be for sure, but it could be a playoff elimination game because both teams 6-1. So what I'm looking forward to the most, though, in that game, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. This Chambliss, right? This Chambliss, he actually played pretty fucking well. I mean, he really did. The fourth quarter wasn't great. He definitely ran out of juice. I still think he's flawed in a lot of different ways. But the defense Oklahoma's putting out there has been very respectable. I mean, Georgia's defense, Tennessee put up points on them. They really haven't been playing well all year. This Oklahoma defense legitimately has been playing well. I mean, Arch Manning put up some points, but I mean, look at this Oklahoma defense, right? They play Auburn. Auburn puts up 17. They play Michigan. Michigan puts up 13. Texas put up 23, but a lot of turnovers there from Mateer. So, and South Carolina puts up 7. Real measuring stick game. Because if Chambliss can he put up 30? Then we start talking. All right. I'm not really excited to watch South Carolina. I'm not, but I'm going to watch them anyway because Sellers, we have to watch them. And South Carolina, like, almost beat them last year. So, Bama's going to take them seriously, which you got to factor that part in. I would imagine Bama's going to kick the shit out of them, but could be a last stand kind of thing. South Carolina is at home. Cocktober is alive. Maybe some Halloween vibes. Crazier things have happened. Maybe one week they'll actually show up because last week they did not fucking show up. Missouri Vandy, another 6-1 versus 6-1 SEC matchup. Both teams are, at least at the quarterback spot, are kind of, I mean, Prbula and Pavia are probably like the most similar of any quarterbacks that are out there. Both guys are not like pass first guys. Both guys are, Pavia's thicker former wrestler background, and I think Prbula's probably like a 40 times speed faster than him. But other than that, they're pretty similar archetype wise. So should be fun. And 2 underrated backs to watch in this one. Missouri's linebackers. They might have some linebackers. Maybe. We'll see. And Missouri has a pass rusher too, by the way. We're gonna be tracking that one because Vandy can block. Sure seems like they can block. So if some of those Missouri guys can pick up some sacks, we'll see. What else am I gonna watch? Houston and Arizona State is like the last game on, which is kind of crazy because that's only like 5 o'clock West Coast time. I would figure you're not going to put one West Coast game on, not one 10 o'clock Eastern game, not one 10:30 Eastern game. I don't know. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. That's the last. 5 o'clock's the last game on. Anyway, Texas A&M, LSU. Texas A&M's undefeated. LSU's at home. And it's a night game. So this is really LSU's last stand. I mean, it is. Are they gonna adjust anything on fucking defense? By the way, this Manzor Delane stud. Whit Weeks didn't play last week. Is he gonna play this week? Is Patrick Payton gonna get out of witness protection? Is Caden Durham gonna be healthy or gonna play healthy? Is Trey'Dez Green gonna keep doing freak show things? And will we finally ever see the training wheels come off? If we get some of those or a lot of those to go LSU's way, which I guess could happen, they could win. They could win. I don't think it's impossible. I just like the one thing I'm nervous with about Texas A&M is they look like a wear and tear team. And when I say that, I mean this. Craver, Concepcion, and Le'Veon Moss and Ruben Owens have all been like, from the games that I've watched, got nicked up. It looked like Concepcion's dealing with a hamstring or ankle, or it looks like they're all nicked up. So I don't know. It's just something to keep in mind. Maybe I'm seeing shit, but always on the laying on the field, getting taken out of the game, going in the tent. So, and Moss didn't even play last week. Emmitt Smith's son, EJ Smith, was the one who got the backup carries behind Ruben Owens last week. So hey, Miami had a letdown spot last week. Texas A&M, it's the fucking SEC. They're only 2.5-point favorites. Could a field goal go LSU's way at home? Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Comments, questions, concerns. I think we're gonna call it a night. Anyway, fantasy contests. Do a quick pick. You can play still for free for now. By the way, what's going on with the NBA? Seems like a really nice alternative, doesn't it? Anyway, so we're doing okay here. We're doing okay here. Got the win last week. What do we want to bet? I don't know what it was. I should have had a pick prepared beforehand. What do we want to bet? Ugh. I don't know. I don't have a strong take. Because those 6-1 SEC games, I could see those going either fucking way, man. You know what? Let's take Syracuse to pull off the fucking upset. Plus 575. That's not terrible. What a payout that would be. You know what? Let's do that. Why not? I know that Syracuse doesn't have Angeli anymore, but really, they're going to go undefeated? Georgia Tech's going to go undefeated? I don't know. Anyway, all right. That'll do it. Thank you guys for watching. The show must go on. Peace out, Girl Scout.